Alright, so I want to first start off by saying that this is just basically continuing on from the last video because of just it posed me the question of that something that Dr. Hasaan Johnson said 11 months ago. I'm gonna go to the video and I'm gonna post the video and the links, but basically it was the question if black men are black men proxy pit bulls. Now we're going into the conversation basically stating how I'm sure that if you haven't heard, it was a conversation in a situation that happened in Chicago, I want to say, or somewhere in Illinois, where a mother and her son, a mother was in, I guess, a feud, argument with a man, and the man proceeds to put his hands on her, proceeds to literally whip her ass. Now, then the mother then tells the son, which is allegedly, we don't know for sure because we not for sure, it's not been in a case. They said that they're building up a case and they're probably going to say that the son, she didn't tell the son to do that. He did that on his own accord, which is then going to be a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? But allegedly she basically technically hit out on that man. You know what I mean? Because of, him putting his hands on her. The boy shot and killed the man. First of all, he shot him in the back. You just don't do that shit. Second of all, another thing about what situations like that, even if it is to defend you, you have to make sure that you de-escalated it or at least tried to de-escalate it. Mind you, the mother also had a license. She had a license to carry, but she chose to use allegedly chose to use her son to kill him. You understand what I mean? Plenty of ways that this shit could have been, and I'm not going to go into the ways of how it could have been de-escalated because first of all, she didn't have a man in her life to be able to de-escalate the situation. Even the young boy's father wasn't there for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But it just threw me back to the question that Dr. Hasaan Johnson asked, and he posed, are black men proxy pit bulls? And it always stuck with me because it's like, it makes sense. Because I'm not going to hold you. In my heart of hearts, dog, when I thought about that, automatically I thought, what would I do? What would Jesus do? What would I do? And I'm not going to hold you. I'm gonna put fucking pause on that nigga too. And if I can't put pause on that nigga, guess what the fuck I'm gonna do? If I'm fucking 14 years old and that nigga about as big as he is, I'm gonna fucking blast this nigga. You don't touch my fucking mama. But here's the question that Green Gorilla posed. He posed the question of, if women want all this equality and they say they quote unquote are about the equal rights of everything, right? Then they gotta understand that they gotta treat men the same way. Ain't no more of that I'm protecting you with my life type shit. We gonna try to de-escalate this shit. You know what I mean? Because if it was the other way around, right? That man would be totally wrong. That man would be totally wrong if he were to use lethal force on a woman that's beating his ass. Now, there's some big women out there, and I know you've seen the videos. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's some crazy ass videos. But yeah, women beating men's ass. Now, whether that man uses lethal force, of course he's not going to use lethal force. Not more. 9 times out of 10, he's not going to use lethal force. He's going to defend himself. You know what I mean? You can't even do that because I remember one time I was in a situation where I recorded the woman trying to put her hands on me, and she said that that wasn't masculine. You should have just fought me. Where you find these women, I do not know. I promise you. But she was in my life at that time, and I needed that lesson at that time. Didn't know that they was out there until she said that shit. But yeah, she went, and then when I recorded her, she went into my phone after I was asleep and deleted the phone. It deleted the video because she didn't want me to show that to the fucking the parents, my parents and hers. And if the shit escalated, guess who the fuck I'm telling? I'm telling the fucking police on your ass. Because guess who's going to jail? First things first. I'm going to jail. Even if you get some imaginary bruises on your face, I'm going to jail. So going back to what I was saying with Green Gorilla, 9 times out of 10, men are less likely to use lethal force on women, even if it is she just beating your ass. She just beating your ass. You know what I mean? It's just like the little knots on your head. You ain't nothing but a little 1-2. But I'm gonna let him start with this, basically.
This shit. Recently, there was a woman, a mother and a daughter, who basically accused of dismembering their own fucking grandmother, man. Like, what the fuck is that about?
That shit threw me for a loop too. That shit threw me for a loop,
So
bro.
you don't think they need therapy?
Now, I'm gonna stop him right there, because that goes back to what Dr. Umar was saying. So what happens when the disrespect becomes something that's totally should not be tolerated at all? Something like this. You still gonna blame the system, dog? Dr. Umar? You're gonna still be it a systemic problem? Generations and generations of ways to go about therapy, find ways to get a better situation. Like they this situation is, they asked her for money. They knew what her money was. They asked her for money, and she didn't give it to him at the time, I guess. And that was her life, because she didn't give it to him. So I don't know about you, but that sounds like premeditated to me. Okay? And they're going to be going away for a little while because of them asking for it beforehand, I think. But I'm going to let you go ahead.
Literally dismembering their fucking mother, their grandmother.
Mother and grandmother.
What the fuck is that about? And look, I'm not saying that black men don't have issues, but to put it, all the pathology in family life onto men.
That's what you're doing.
To act like there's nothing dysfunctional happening with
Dr.
women.
Umar, that's what
like,
you're doing.
Only black men are impacted adversely by the weird conditions that they've been thrust upon in this culture, and everybody else bypasses it. It escapes them. It's like the Passover. Like, black women just got like, they got the blood over their door mantles, but like black men just don't get it. They don't have the mantle. So they get killed by the angel of death or touched by evil, where it bypasses everybody else in the black community. It's fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Now I'm going to go to the Dr. Hasaan Johnson situation, where basically he was explaining the proxy pitbulls. I'm gonna go to it real quick. I think he was but this is the dude that I listen to a lot. I listen to him like even when Kevin Samuels was here, when he shouted out Dr. Hasaan Johnson, then I started seeing him pop up more and more. I started following Dr. Hasaan Johnson a lot more. You know what I mean? Because of the facts, because of the statistics, because of it wasn't so much of entertainment. Kevin Samuels is more for people that he was telling the truth, but it was damn sure entertaining. That's why he had so many followers. I wasn't really with all of that entertaining shit, because it's like it was beside the point. Like I need the facts, I need the statistics, I need the pure data. You know what I mean? And this is what Dr. Hasaan, conversations that Dr. Hasaan Johnson started. Are black men proxy pit bulls? And I'm going to let him finish.
On one level or another, we have men operating as pit bulls on behalf of women in particular. This desire to protect, this desire to be perceived as good men, and yet doing so to their own detriment. Whether it means they've gotten killed, whether it means they've gotten beat up and hospitalized, or whether it means that they're going to jail for a really long time. And one of the things that I really wanted to impress upon us as black men who are dealing with this kind of idea that, one, we don't protect, And two, when we do protect, it's not regarded, it's not acknowledged. And three, sometimes the way we think about protection is just damn ridiculous. Here's the thing, there's a lot of ways to protect, and they don't always have to involve getting in somebody's face.
Case in point, I'll give you my own story of basically not trying to get in somebody's face. And the funny thing is, the face was my own fucking girl. So it was one time where I'm living in the hood, and my girl, she was my ex at the time. She was living with me. And I woke up, went outside. I see my car is broken into. So I'm thinking it's probably some kids running around breaking into cars. They didn't steal anything. They were just trying to break into cars to see what was in it. So they didn't steal anything, but I had a mess. You know what I mean? So she was using the car at the time a lot more than I was. And I'm thinking that maybe this is why she was a little bit she was a little bit mad. But basically the main thing is this. As I was trying to calm her down, like, mind you, this is my shit. This is my car. I'm paying the fucking note. I'm paying everything I'm paying the gas. She's mad because I'm trying to calm her down. You understand what I mean? I'm trying to de-escalate her. You understand what I mean? Because I'm not sure if y'all know, but apartments, I was living in an apartment at the time. And apartments, they were basically viewing, like it was like 4 apartments that's viewing the parking lot that we were in. So I'm like, because we was in the back. So I'm telling her, calm down. She don't even realize, like, I'm literally trying to calm her down. I'm not even worried about the car anymore. Because I'm like, just calm down. You know what I mean? I got this. Let me handle this. I'm going to call who I need to call, figure out what I need to figure out. We going to be good. And we fixed it later. You know what I mean? We fixed the car and everything. But it's like she was still, like, up in arms about. At first she was up in arms about the car. But then her emotions turned towards me and my stoicism, I guess, because I wasn't as mad as her. She was trying to transfer that energy to me. And I was like not really fucking with it. I was really not fucking on. And now I'm mad because she's trying to get mad at me for telling her to calm down. I got this. Because not little does she know, all of those windows are open. And we don't know who's watching us. So I'm thinking it's some kids. Who's to say it's somebody that's actually watching me when I come in, watching me when I go out, watching me when I go to work. You understand what I mean? And now they're watching us going back and forth with each other. That's not how this shit works, dog. It's like you move with some type of strategy, and that's not that. What you fucking up my shit now. Because now somebody's watching you as you get on me. We going back and forth with each other when the fucking problem is the car. So it's like when he posed the question of, are black men proxy pit bulls, it's almost like women would want you to be just as upset as they are and then just automatically move on your emotions. Be careful of that shit, y'all. I'm gonna let him finish forward.
One way to kind of protect without even having to deal with that is to advise someone before a situation even happens. Sometimes advise them to not even be present to a situation. But this begs the question: are you in a position? Are you in a dynamic, a relationship, whether it's a family member or an intimate relationship, where your word is enough for that person to follow in the interest of protection? One of the things.
And obviously it wasn't. And we broke that shit off. I ain't talked to her 2 years since, bruh. She's still trying to hit me up. I'm cool, bruh. I'm cool, mama. Like, I'm cool on you. Something ain't right up there, man. Something ain't right up there. You too old to not know. Like, I was trying to protect you. But it goes back to the situation is the conversation before, like the last video. If black women aren't our women, whose women are they? And if they are part of this community, is there any type of responsibility that they have to the community? And like that said, man, I'm going to be up out of here, man. That's it.